We are pleased to be joined by Thomas Brostrøm, who is CEO, Orsted North America Offshore. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Listen, talk to folks about what Orsted is and why it matters so much when it comes to clean energy.
Sure. So Orsted is a Danish company, a world leader in renewable and offshore wind. It's actually got a very interesting background. It used to be Danish oil and natural gas, but over the last 10 years, it has transitioned into being a world leader in offshore wind. And 5 years ago, we now entered the US market and have a lot of projects in development up and down the eastern seaboard.
Yeah, let's put things in perspective, folks. We are very much involved with public awareness around clean energy. We're working with the Clean Energy Program together with the folks at the Board of Public Utilities. Our job is to help people better understand what clean energy really means. Could for us, Thomas, when it comes to wind energy, ocean wind, offshore wind, these different phrases used, but I know that off the coast of Atlantic City, that's where we see those physical, I don't know, what are they called?
Yeah, they're called wind turbine generators, essentially. So that would be the right term, offshore wind farms.
How long have they been around, that technology?
So we built the first offshore wind farm back in the early 90s off the coast of Denmark. And then based around the millennium, it started to pick up around other places in Europe. So you're looking at 20, 30-year-old industry, so relatively new.
Where is New Jersey in this effort? Because I know there is a New Jersey wind port, but I want to put that in perspective. Is New Jersey behind, ahead? Where are we compared to most other states, much less than the world?
No question that the U.S. is coming in, a bit later than certainly Europe, who's been spearheading this. But when it comes to the U.S., New Jersey is a front runner. It's a leader. We've seen clear leadership from the administration, from the legislature, Governor Murphy, Senate President Sweeney, two strong leaders on offshore wind. So in that sense, New Jersey is very much at the front of the pack here.
There's also something called the Orsted Pro New Jersey Trust. Is that what it's called? What is that?
Yeah, so as part of our large ocean wind project, so we got an award last summer to build an 1,100 megawatt project, which is enough energy to provide 500,000 homes in New Jersey with offshore wind electricity. As part of that proposal, we have also committed to invest $15 million into New Jersey minority-owned businesses that want to take part in the offshore wind industry.
I want to understand something. Investing in minority-owned businesses, but Orsted is doing what your company's doing to be successful financially, to make a difference environmentally. What does it mean to invest in minority-owned businesses? Help us understand that.
Yeah, so obviously the clean electricity is important, but actually building a local supply chain and economic development is also important to many states, including New Jersey. For us as a developer, we want to have the right workforce who can also do the different things that we need to do to build the projects. Much of that, let's say, expertise sits in Europe. We want to bring it here. We want to localize it. That's why we're willing to also invest and train, you can say, local companies. And then we just have an idea to also support, women-owned businesses and other majority-owned businesses.
Help people understand where the, dare I say it, jobs are in your industry. Where are the jobs? What are the jobs?
Yeah, I mean, that thousands of jobs. So obviously it depends on where you are in the development cycle. But for the first phase here, there's a lot of development work going on. So that would be classic engineering jobs. It would be, setting up our local offices, anything from finance, HR, all the functions you would need. But the minute you move into construction, you need people who can work at sea, work at heights, And once you've built the project, you need a workforce who can go out, service the wind farms, technicians going out offshore to the wind farms, making sure they can repair things if that's needed. So a lot of jobs. And then there's a whole standing up a new industry where you can have the producers, the manufacturers of the wind turbines or the foundations or the vessels or the cables. All those could also be present over time, obviously in the US and in New Jersey.
You know, I'm curious about this. COVID has affected everyone, every industry, all of us in one way or another. Have had to innovate, change. Business has been disrupted. Some have shut down. How has COVID affected your industry?
Yeah, I think we are relatively fortunate that we are selling clean electricity, and the demand for electricity is still, there. So in that sense, we are fortunate. That said, obviously, we're dependent on our suppliers that they can go out, deliver their goods and services to us. So we have not seen major impacts, for instance, to our projects. We have been able to go in and out at sea. We're obviously working from home, for instance, and we have the issues of how do you keep the momentum, but I would say at a high level, fairly limited impact from COVID-19. We saw a bit in New York at some point where we could not go into port for a few weeks, so we could not do some of the surveys, but at a high level, we've been limited, impacted by COVID-19 so far.
Well, I assure you, Mr. Brostrøm, that while we continue our efforts to help the public better understand what clean energy means, we'll continue conversations with other folks from your organization, and we appreciate you taking the time with us. All the best.
Thank you. Likewise.
I'm Steve Adubato. Thank you so much. We'll be right back right after this.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, PSE&G, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Clean Energy Program, Johnson & Johnson, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and by Valley Bank. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and by New Jersey Monthly.
In the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by: leave no one behind. Now all of us need to live by it too, because some veterans are being left behind. 20 of them take their own lives every day. Learn how to be there for a veteran at BeThereForVeterans.com. Honor the code. Be there. Leave no one behind.